Welcome to the end of week chart analysis for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We get a new candlestick on the daily chart and the weekly chart in about a minute and a half. Bitcoin's up just a little less than 3% at 2.92%, and ETH is up over double that at up 6.28%. The candlestick this week is big and tall. After tagging that lower Bollinger Band and giving the CCI buy signal when it dipped below minus 100 and crossed back up through it. You can see one of those over here. What happened to the price at that time? Too far back. I'm not going to zoom out that far. And Bitcoin's candlestick is smaller, doesn't look as strong. It's not closing closer to the high of the week like Ethereum's is. But the CCI did give the buy signal by dipping below minus 100 and rising above it. Now let's talk about volume on the weekly, because it's looking pretty weak on the daily chart. Okay, 2 seconds. There we go. There's our new candle. Last week, to be exact, up 2.93% for Bitcoin. And the candle for last week is up 6.28, right where they were. What I'm not liking here on Ethereum, look at the volume here. I don't see any week all the way back to here with such low volume. What the size and the shape of the candle tell me, it didn't take much volume to get it up there. And that means there were fewer sellers than before. There's more buyers, obviously, because it went up, but it went up easier on low volume. Volume on Bitcoin this week, not bad. I see a trend of rising green, but that's not really important. That's too far back. On Bitcoin, also tagged the lower Bollinger Band, only at a lower spot, much lower than ETH. ETH was lower than the previous week at the low of the week, but it still ended up green. Now on the daily chart, let's check them both out. Okay, what I'm seeing on Bitcoin is diminishing volume, just down, down, down every day last week, and that is not good. I also see a scary type of sideways movement, more sideways than up, and this fully engulfing red over green was not looking good. That scared a lot of people that day. We had a great day. On the 12th and on the 13th, they took it all back, plus more. A lot of retail got scared out right there, and you can see it in the volume. Now, the last two bars there was Saturday and Sunday, so not too bad. That's understandable, but even for a weekend, this was very weak volume. But what the price did was go sideways to up. I like the chart pattern. It is a bullish cup and handle here that is forming the cup there, and right now it's doing the handle. Imagine a coffee cup, looking at it at the side. Here's the handle. It goes down, it goes up. Okay, nice rounding bottom on the cup. And the CCI gave the buy signal on this day, the 10th. I called it on the 10th, actually, on Bitcoin at 9 a.m. That was on the drop right here. But generally speaking, we've got an upticking CCI. Unfortunately, it's not more vertical like here. It's more sideways. So that's taking way too long to get up to the middle Bollinger Band, which is the dotted white line, and it's also the 20 moving average, because Bollinger Bands are set at the 20 period, and so is the CCI. So the middle Bollinger Band equals, right here, equals the reading pretty much on the zero line of the CCI. We do have an interesting chart pattern. Diminishing volume is usually bearish, but going up on diminishing volume, I would rather see increasing, because as volume diminishes, what we do is we see right here, we've got a drop, a sideways with a slight uptrend. That's called a bear flag. Volume falls off to nothing right here, and it crashes. It drops, finds a bottom, goes sideways with a slight uptrend, another bear flag. And here we are with terrible volume again, and it drops again. So that's one hit at the middle Bollinger Band, or 20 moving average, a drop to new lows, another tag of the middle Bollinger Band, a drop to new lows. Is this going to be the one where the 7 moving average crosses up through the 20, or is it going to be a rejection at the middle Bollinger Band for the, this one counts, 1, 2, 3 for the fourth time? Or is this going to be the bottom, continuation of the bottom? We cross up through the zero line of the CCI. We get up through the middle Bollinger Band. And when that happens, if the volume is increasing, it will go up and tag the upper Bollinger Band many times. But if it takes too long, every day the lower is going to start rising, the upper band will start falling, and the target price on any breakout will come down every day the longer it takes. So if we get a really big move, 2 or 3 days, 4 days, we could be up there where it is now, or close to it at about 900 on ETH. But if it takes too long and the volume drops, we're going to roll over again, set new lows below here. And we really need the big volume, and I'm talking massive volume at the bottom like we saw here. Not even here. That was not the bottom. This volume, that high, should have been on this day to be believable as a true bottom, because the biggest volume is found at bottoms and tops. And in order to break out of a level of resistance. We've got diminishing volume, we've got a sideways move, we've got a weak sideways moving CCI instead of more vertical, up and down. And all of this, in my mind, is a recipe for another down move soon. So I put stops in on my ETH right here to take profits from my bottom call this day, where I got in, and some of my other altcoins, or all my stops are in this area. It can roll over here and take out my stop, and I'll still get 50% of my profit. But I will not let it go all the way back to my buy and lose it all, because I believe we may see a better buying opportunity soon, unless volume comes in and we really start to see some enthusiasm on the buying side, which I am not seeing right now. And, it's kind of scary. I thought for sure this was going to be the good rally. We've never seen one like this before, but I thought it'd look a little bit more like, not quite 21 days straight up in a row, except for one red day. That was the most fun ride I've ever been on in my life. This was another good one. A little more choppy, but as long as it stayed above the middle Bollinger Band, it was bullish until the 7 crossed down through the 20, and down we go. And has the 7 crossed back up through the 20 yet? No. One time here, fail. Okay, it came up and tagged it, fail. It came up and tagged it. Is it gonna fail or not? And that all depends on volume. Now the 4-hour chart is interesting also, because when you go back, you can see what I just talked about pretty clearly. The stair stepping down. Okay, we had a big drop right here. Let's go ahead and do that on Bitcoin. Compare. all the way back to the beginning of December. Okay, so that would be sideways. Okay, ETH went a little bit up, but Bitcoin went sideways. And he actually went up here before the next drop. But here's the stair step. Okay, here's the drop, the stair step sideways, the drop, the stair step sideways. This one broke out to the upside, so that kind of gives me the hope that this might be the turn, because right here on the 4-hour chart, okay, the 7 moving average, the yellow one, is below the 20 moving average, the dotted white one, and right there it crossed up through it. And that's where the chart turned from bear to bull. It crossed back down through it there, but sideways. What gives me a little bit of hope is this sideways is above the sideways before it. And it leads me to think we might be in the beginning of an uptrend. See how ETH looks. Oh, I was going to show you the stair step down. It shows up better. Here's a kind of a triangle with a rising wedge. Volume falls off to nothing, and we drop like a rock. Another rising pattern. You know, this is more of a flag where the highs get higher and the lows get higher. Okay, that's called either a wedge or a bull trap. You know, people think, oh, it's going to go up, and then falls. Volume right here falls off to nothing, and it dumps again. And then it comes down and finally finds the bottom on big volume right there. Pretty big volume right there on that bottom. So the 4-hour chart gives me a little bit of hope that things might turn around here. But look at the volume on both of these. Here, it's just straight down. Both the green and the red. Okay, I see bigger green overall because right in this area there's more of an uptrend. Okay, the next thing we need right now is a spurt of volume, and for Bitcoin to break above 44,444. And ETH needs to get big volume and break out above 34.44. Break below here is going to be very bearish right here at these lows for ETH, and a break below 41,800 on Bitcoin going to be very bearish for this chart. Okay, this diminishing volume is very questionable. I'm not happy about it at all. I was hoping on the daily chart we would see a nice, just quick move up, take care of business. To the daily, just for one more comment. My strategy is all about the CCI. It told me to buy right here. It has not told me to sell yet. For Bitcoin, this sideways, very tight range. I mean, it's the tightest range on this chart, although everything you can see. A lot of dojis, a lot of tiny body, upper wick, small, lower wick, but no big green or red candles like, you know, big green. Don't want to see big red. I'm a bull. This is like sideways too long. I've never seen so much sideways. You know, after 20 years in the stock market, I moved to coins, and the stocks don't do this. They go up and down. They don't go sideways for, you know, count the days. From right here, since this drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, I think that's 13 today of sideways. That's 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. I've never seen so much sideways, and it really kind of bothers me. It makes it very hard to trade. But overall, I see weakness. I see sideways on low volume. That usually equals down. That's a kind of a golden rule. When you see volume leave a market like this in such a dramatic way since the beginning of the year, it really makes you wonder if people haven't lost interest in the coins. I see a lot of, since November, you know, the top was in November. It's been going down since, I think it was the 10th of November was when the 7 moving average, 17th, 18th, okay. When the 7 moving average finally crossed down through the 20, it only crossed back up once since then. And look what happens when low volume, right here, that super low red one, a couple of days just before the fall, it makes bigger red, dump to new lows volume. Huge volume, increasing volume on a downtrend. That's what it causes. That's the last thing the bulls want to see. Today's Monday. Yeah, we had terrible volume on Saturday and Sunday. The worst in ages, since all the way back to here, December 25th. Okay, it was just a weekend. It wasn't a holiday weekend. This is getting scary on the volume side. Okay, so my prediction right now, if volume today is low or big red, I'm seeing it curve down already. The 7 is still slightly upticking, the yellow one. More so on ETH. It's sharply up, but ETH outperformed by 6% over 3% last week. So yeah, he obviously is going to have a better looking chart. Much better. But I'm already seeing the downticks here. They're starting to flatten out. Instead of going up sharper, it's still only 18 minutes into the week, but I'm saying it's starting to roll over already, folks. We need the institutions to come in. India starts at 11 p.m. my time. It's only 6:18 right now. Maybe India will give us a boost, but if they go short right here, it'll be easy money for them. If we do roll over and break below this low here, okay, where's the breakdown point? I don't see a chart pattern here. It's just other than sideways with a slight uptrend, which is a bear flag. And as volume diminishes, that finishes off the chart pattern. It will dump. Most people would have their stop loss limit orders in right here at the bottom to, the bottom of that particular day is 39,650. So if it breaks below there, like when it broke below here, what happens? Okay, it broke below. Yeah, it dumped. All right, so you got to go back in time to find the next level of support. I don't care where it is. All right, the low here was 39,600, and this low was 39,650. Okay, that was a good test of that low. If we break 600, I don't see any more support back there, do you? Well, there's one right here. Whoa, that's quite a ways down there. The low, let's just get a low on that one, 37,300. That's the next stop, folks. That's another $6,000 down roughly. If that fails, the next support is at the low here at 29,301. Do you see what I'm leading up to? How many times can Bitcoin bump its head against the middle Bollinger Band and dump to new lows? That's one. Yeah, that was a nice try, but I think that was the holiday weekend. We could have gone up there, but it was a holiday. We could have had a better weekend, volume weekend, but it was a weekend. That was the first time it got above the middle Bollinger Band, and then because of the low volume over the holiday week for Christmas, we got the big dump. All right, so here's another attempt at the middle Bollinger Band. And if today's volume is down here like it was down here, guess what's going to happen? Final words. We need big volume to get this going. We need Bitcoin to start moving up instead of sideways. Big volume up, break above here. The high right there at, let's look up at the top. The high was 44,453. We need to break above that because that's the highest price on this chart right in here. We need to break above that big volume. We'll go tag that upper Bollinger Band easy in probably 3 or 4 days. With the right size candlestick, it could take less, but a week on the outside. Volume needs to pick up. We need both of these to get above zero line CCI because that is my primary buy signal. Down here, it just tells you the bottom might be in. So you go in lightly here in case it rolls over. Once you know it's moving up, you can add. But I always go all in. If I'm not all in, I go all in when CCI breaks above zero. But I like to do it better when it's got some Momo behind it, not some lame kind of bounce that goes sideways. All right, so big volume, a big push up, a break above zero CCI and middle Bollinger Band, we go. Low volume, more sideways, break below here, watch out below. All right, that's it for this week, folks. Not real happy with my bottom call. It was spot on, but didn't go anywhere. Disappointing bounce. Great week trading. Be careful out there.